The rain-slicked streets of Seattle gleamed under the sodium lamps like veins of molten silver, and Andre's boots splashed through puddles that mirrored the fractured skyline. He gripped the crumpled note in his fist, the one Emily had left on the kitchen counter, her elegant script confessing everything in a single devastating line: "I can't pretend anymore. Ryan's who I need." But it was the photo tucked inside, Ryan's arm slung possessively around her waist at some dive bar in Capitol Hill, that ignited the fire in Andre's chest, a blaze that had smoldered for months through late nights and empty beds. He wasn't here to beg or break, he was here to stare down the man who'd stolen his life and demand the truth, even if it shattered him. Andre pushed through the door of the Rusty Anchor, the bar's neon sign buzzing faintly against the downpour outside. The air inside was thick with the scent of spilled beer and fried onions, a haze of cigarette smoke clinging to the low ceilings despite the no-smoking signs. Patrons hunched over their drinks, tattooed locals nursing IPAs, a cluster of tech bros laughing too loud at a corner table, while an old jukebox crooned some forgotten Springsteen track about thunder roads and broken promises. His heart hammered as he scanned the room, eyes locking on the figure at the far end of the bar, Ryan, broad-shouldered and easy in his flannel shirt, laughing with the bartender like he owned the place. "You Ryan?" Andre's voice cut through the din, sharper than he'd intended, drawing a few glances from nearby stools. The man turned, his green eyes narrowing in casual assessment, a half-smile playing on lips that Andre hated instantly for their careless confidence. Ryan was everything the photo promised: mid-30s, sun-kissed skin from weekends hiking the Cascades, short-cropped blonde hair still damp from the rain, and a build that spoke of manual labor or CrossFit, solid, unapologetic. He set down his pint glass with a deliberate clink. "Depends. Who's asking?" "Andre. Emily's husband." The words tasted like ash, but he forced them out, stepping closer until the bar top was the only barrier between them. The bartender busied himself polishing a glass, pretending not to eavesdrop, while the jukebox switched to a mournful Dylan ballad that seemed to underscore the moment. Ryan's smile faded, replaced by a flicker of something: regret? Amusement? He leaned back, crossing his arms over his chest, the sleeves of his shirt riding up to reveal forearms etched with faint scars, probably from carpentry or whatever straight guy hobby kept him grounded. "Ah. The husband. Look, man, I didn't mean for this to." "Didn't mean for what?" Andre interrupted, his voice low but edged with the kind of fury that had built over whispered phone calls he'd pretended not to hear, over Emily's sudden girls' nights that stretched into dawn. "To fuck my wife? To waltz into our marriage like it's just another Tuesday happy hour? She's got 2 kids, Ryan. A life we built. And you're just the straight-laced asshole who thought he'd play hero." The bar noise dipped for a beat, heads turning subtly, but Ryan didn't flinch. Instead, he signaled the bartender for another round, 2 glasses this time, and slid one across to Andre. "Sit. Drink. Yelling won't change shit, and neither will standing there looking like you want to punch me. Which, fair, but I'm not worth the assault charge." Andre hesitated, the glass cold against his palm as he took it anyway, the amber liquid sloshing like his unraveling resolve. He dropped onto the stool, the wood creaking under his weight, and took a swig, peaty scotch that burned going down, mirroring the knot in his throat. Up close, Ryan wasn't the villain he'd imagined. There was a weariness in his eyes, lines etched from more than just sun exposure, like he'd carried his own ghosts into this mess. "Emily's. Complicated," Ryan said finally, staring into his own glass as if it held the script for this confession. "We met at that community theater thing last fall. She was directing, I was building sets. One thing led to another. I never promised her forever, Andre. Hell, I'm not even good at that with myself." Andre's grip tightened on the glass, knuckles whitening. "So what? You're just some straight guy dipping his toe in forbidden waters? Married life not exciting enough for you back home?" He didn't know if Ryan was married. Emily had been vague in her tearful admissions, but the barb landed anyway, judging by the way Ryan's jaw clenched. "Straight as they come," Ryan replied, a wry chuckle escaping that didn't reach his eyes. "Or so I thought until Emily started talking about you. How you were always the steady one, the guy who fixed the leaky roof at midnight and made pancakes shaped like dinosaurs for the kids. Made me feel like shit, honestly. Like I was the rebound from something real. The words hung there, unexpected, slicing through Andre's anger like a cold wind off Elliott Bay. He hadn't come for compliments or pity, he wanted blood, or at least the satisfaction of seeing Ryan squirm. But this glimpse of vulnerability from the other man, stirred something uneasy in his gut, a curiosity he shoved down hard. Don't talk about us like you know anything. You wrecked it. Ryan nodded slowly, draining his glass and setting it down with a soft thud. Maybe. But walking away now? That's on her, not me. And you. You look like you need to hear that this isn't the end of your story. Seattle's full of second acts. Andra laughed bitterly, the sound hollow in his chest. He stood abruptly, the stool scraping back, rain from his jacket dripping onto the scarred bar top. Save the Hallmark bullshit. I came here to tell you to stay the hell away from my family. Consider it done. He tossed a crumpled 20 onto the bar and turned toward the door, the cool rush of night air hitting him like a slap as he stepped out. But as the door swung shut behind him, sealing Ryan back into the warm glow of the bar, Andre paused under the awning, the note still balled in his fist. His phone buzzed, Emily, probably, with more apologies or excuses, but he ignored it, staring at the rain-veiled streetlights. The confrontation had been a dud, no catharsis, just this nagging echo of Ryan's words. Steady. Real. What if that was all he'd ever been? The rain picked up, drumming on the metal roof above him, and for the first time in months, Andre wondered if the storm inside him was just beginning. The walk back to his car was a blur of wet sidewalks and honking taxis, the kind of Seattle drizzle that seeped into your bones and made everything feel heavier. Andre slid into the driver's seat, the leather creaking under him, and let his head fall back against the headrest. 35 years old, a mid-level project manager at a software firm in South Lake Union, father to Mia and Theo, 8 and 5, with their mother's dark curls and his quiet stubbornness, and now this, untethered, adrift in a city that prided itself on reinvention but felt like quicksand under his feet. He'd met Emily in college at UW, her laugh cutting through a crowded lecture hall like sunlight, and they'd built a life in a cozy Queen and Victorian, complete with a backyard swing set and weekend hikes up to Discovery Park. It was supposed to be enough. But the cracks had started small, her late rehearsals, his overtime debugging code until his eyes burned. Then the distance, the way she'd flinch at his touch like it was an obligation. The note had been the final fracture, left that morning after she'd packed a bag for some space. Space. As if their marriage was a cluttered garage needing a purge. He started the engine, wipers slapping rhythmically against the windshield, and pulled into traffic, the Space Needle spire a ghostly silhouette against the clouds. Home wasn't home anymore, it was a mausoleum of half-unpacked boxes and kid drawings taped to the fridge. Mia's latest masterpiece, a crayon family of 4, stick figures holding hands, stared back at him when he finally unlocked the door, the silence deafening without Emily's humming in the kitchen. Andre poured himself a tumbler of bourbon from the cabinet, the good stuff they'd saved for anniversaries, and sank onto the living room couch, the fabric still holding the faint scent of her lavender shampoo. His phone lit up again, a text from his sister Lena in Portland. Heard from M. You okay? Call me. He typed back a quick fine. Later. And tossed the phone aside. Okay was a lie, but admitting the truth felt like surrender. Sleep evaded him that night, the ceiling fan whirring like accusatory whispers. By dawn, grey light filtering through the blinds, Andre was up, brewing coffee strong enough to strip paint. The kids were with Emily's parents in Bellevue for the week, to give us time, she'd said, and the emptiness amplified every creak of the house settling. He dressed in his usual armor, chinos, button-down, loafers polished to a shine, the uniform of a man pretending his world hadn't imploded. Work awaited, spreadsheets and stand-up meetings where no one would ask about the shadows under his eyes. But as he grabbed his keys, his gaze snagged on the junk drawer, where Emily's spare theater ticket stubs lay scattered like confetti from a party he hadn't been invited to. One caught his eye, The Glass Menagerie, last month's production at Intiman Playhouse. Ryan's name scribbled in the margin, with a phone number. The same bar, same scrawl. Impulse seized him, he deleted the note, but this? This was a thread he could pull. No. He shook it off, slamming the drawer shut. Confrontation over. Move on. But the drive to the office was torture, radio droning classic rock anthems that all seemed to be about lost love and open roads. By lunch, staring at his untouched salad in the company cafeteria, Andre caved. He Googled the bar's address again, then Ryan's name, easy enough in a city of LinkedIn profiles. Ryan Hale, 34, freelance set designer and carpenter, with a portfolio of moody theater backdrops and a Facebook feed full of flannel-clad hikes and craft beer tastings. Straight as an arrow, or so the photo suggested, arm-around buddies at Seahawks games, no hints of anything else. Why am I doing this? Andre muttered to his screen, but his fingers were already typing a message through an anonymous app, posing as a potential client for a home reno. So your work. Need quote for kitchen remodeling Queen Anne. Harmless, right? Just curiosity. Just closure. The reply came within minutes, sounds good. Coffee this week? Andre's thumb hovered over yes, heart racing like it hadn't since college keggers. This was stupid, reckless. But as he hit send, a spark ignited, not anger, not anymore, but something sharper, more alive. The kind of pull that whispered what if in the quiet hours. Days blurred into a rhythm of feigned normalcy, drop-offs at the preschool, Theo clinging to his leg, Mia asking when mommy's coming home, client calls where Andre's voice cracked mid-sentence, evenings numb with Netflix and takeout Thai. Emily texted sporadically, love you, but need space, each ping a fresh bruise. Lena called twice, her voice warm Portland sunshine cutting through his fog, come visit, bro. The kids too. We have that guest room. He promised he would, but Seattle's grey embrace held him fast, a moth to its flame. The coffee meet was set for Thursday at a hole-in-the-wall in Fremont, neutral ground with troll statues guarding the bridge like silent sentinels. Andre arrived early, nursing a black Americano, the steam curling like unanswered questions. When Ryan walked in, jeans faded at the knees, work boots scuffed, a toolbox slung over one shoulder, Andre's stomach flipped. Not fear, not quite, more like recognition, as if he'd known this man in some forgotten dream. Queen Anne, who? Ryan said, sliding into the booth with a grin that crinkled the corners of his eyes. Nice neighborhood. What's the damage, leaky faucet or full gut? Andre forced a smile, the lie sticking in his throat. Something like that. Gutted, maybe. They talked shop, or Ryan did, sketching rough ideas on a napkin, his hand steady and calloused, veins prominent under tanned skin. Andre nodded along, mesmerized by the way Ryan's fingers moved, precise yet gentle, like they could build worlds or break them. You seem distracted, Ryan noted midway through, leaning back with his mug. Everything all right? The question hung, simple but loaded. Andre met his gaze, those green eyes steady, and for a heartbeat, the bar's dim light from that first night flashed back, the unspoken you're real. Just life, he said finally. Wife left. Kids with grandparents. House feels like a museum. Ryan's expression softened, no pity, just a nod that carried weight. Rough. My folks split when I was 10. Dad bailed for Alaska, chasing salmon or some bullshit. Mom rebuilt with sheer spite. Taught me houses are just wooden nails, you can always start over. Andre swallowed, the words landing like balm on raw skin. They lingered after the napkins were crumpled, coffee gone cold, Ryan's laugh easy as he shared a story about a set collapse during rehearsals, Emily buried in the punchline like an afterthought. When they parted, text me the address for that quote, Andre's hand tingled from the brief clasp of goodbye. That night, alone in the king-sized bed that swallowed him whole, Andre replayed the conversation, the way Ryan's knee had brushed his under the table, accidental but electric. It was nothing, he told himself. Straight guy empathy. but sleep came fitful, dreams tangled with rain and hands that weren't Emily's. Friday dawned with a rare break in the clouds, sunlight slanting through the Victorian's bay windows like an uninvited guest. Andre stood at the kitchen island, slicing apples for a lunchbox that wouldn't be needed, the knife's rhythm a metronome to his thoughts. Mia's voice echoed from memory, "Daddy, why's Mommy sad?" And he set the blade down, hands trembling. The coffee meat had been a mistake, a rabbit hole disguised as reconnaissance. Yet here he was, phone in hand, rereading Ryan's follow-up text, "Great chat. Let me know on that kitchen. Casual, professional. Safe." He typed back before he could overthink, "How about tomorrow? Scout the place. Address attached." The send button felt like jumping off a ledge. Work dragged, pixels blurring on his monitor as colleagues chatted about weekend plans, Sounders game, Pike Place runs. Andre nodded through it, his mind on the toolbox, the napkin sketches now tucked in his glove compartment like contraband. By quitting time, traffic on IR5 was a snarl of brake lights, giving him time to stew. What was he doing? Playing house with his wife's lover? Seeking absolution in sawdust and small talk? Ryan arrived Saturday morning right on time, truck rumbling to a stop curbside, a thermos of coffee in one hand and measuring tape in the other. "Morning, neighbor," he called, hopping the low fence with the ease of someone who treated obstacles like suggestions. Up close in daylight, Ryan looked even more solid, faint laugh lines framing his mouth, a day's stubble silvering his jaw. He wore a fitted Henley that hugged his chest, sleeves pushed to elbows, and Andre caught himself staring, heat creeping up his neck. Come in," Andre said, stepping aside, the door creaking like a confession. The house smelled of stale coffee and neglect, toys scattered in the hall like landmines. Ryan didn't comment, just whistled low at the vaulted ceilings. "Nice bones. Bet it was a stunner back in the day." They toured the kitchen, Formica counters chipped at the edges, cabinets sagging under years of family meals. Ryan knelt to inspect the flooring, tape snapping open with a sharp click, his back muscles shifting under the fabric. Andra leaned against the fridge, arms crossed to hide the way his pulse jumped. "Emily picked the tiles," he offered, voice steadier than he felt. "Said they reminded her of Italian villas. We honeymooned in Tuscany." Ryan glanced up, green eyes unreadable. "Sounds romantic. She's got taste." No defensiveness, just fact, but it stung anyway, the casual ownership of shared history. They moved to the living room, Ryan jotting notes on his phone, suggesting open shelves and island seating that would transform the space into something modern, airy. "Make it yours," he said, gesturing broadly. "Not hers. Or anyone's but you." The words landed soft but sure, and Andre felt a crack in the wall he'd built, the one labeled husband, father, man in control. "Easier said," he replied, sinking onto the couch arm. "Feels like everything's hers still." The creaks in the floorboards, the way the light hits the stairs at dusk. Ryan pocketed his phone, leaning against the mantel with a sigh that seemed to carry the weight of unspoken stories. "I get that. My ex, well, not ex, we just fizzled. She wanted the white picket dream, I wanted freedom, I guess. Sold the place last year, couch and all. Starting fresh in a studio downtown, pots and pans on the fire escape." Andre's brow furrowed. "Ex-girlfriend?" The question slipped out, probing without permission. Ryan chuckled, rubbing the back of his neck, a gesture that exposed the corded strength of his forearm. "Yeah. Jess. Moved to Portland for a job. Clean break." He paused, eyes flicking to Andre's. "You fishing for dirt on me, or just curious?" Heat flooded Andre's face, and he looked away, toward the backyard where the swing set swayed gently in the breeze. "Curious. Guess I want to know what she saw in you. Emily, I mean." Ryan pushed off the mantle, closing the distance in 2 strides, but stopped short, hands in pockets. "Honesty, maybe. Or the fact I don't fix things that aren't broken." His voice dropped, laced with something raw. "Look, about her, I'm sorry. Truly. Didn't set out to blow up your world. Andre met his gaze then, inches apart, the air between them charged like the moment before thunder. Ryan's eyes held no mockery, just a quiet intensity that made Andre's breath hitch. Then why'd you say yes to this? He asked, gesturing vaguely at the room, at them. The quote. The coffee. A beat of silence, broken only by the distant hum of a leaf blower. Ryan shrugged, but his eyes didn't leave Andre's. Because you asked. And? Hell, you seem like a guy worth helping. They wrapped the tour in the garage, Ryan measuring beams while Andre fetched sodas from the mini-fridge, the clink of cans a punctuation to the tension. Outside, the sun climbed higher, casting long shadows across the driveway. I'll email the proposal Monday, Ryan said, slinging his toolbox back over his shoulder. No pressure. Could be a fresh start. Andre nodded, watching him go, the truck's taillights fading down the hill. Inside, the house felt less empty, echoes lingering, Ryan's laugh at a crooked shelf, the brush of shoulders in the narrow hall. Dinner was solitary pasta, wine loosening the knots in his chest until his phone buzzed, the kids, FaceTime from grandma's, Mia's gap-toothed grin filling the screen. Daddy! We made cookies. Theo ate the dough. Laughter bubbled up, genuine for the first time in weeks, and he chatted until their yawns signaled bedtime. Hanging up, the quiet rushed back, but softer now, laced with possibility. He poured another glass, scrolling Ryan's portfolio late into the night, moody lighting rigs for a streetcar named Desire, rustic benches for community plays. Art in the everyday, strength in simplicity. Sunday brought Mia and Theo home, Emily's Subaru crunching gravel in the drive. She stepped out first, hair pulled back, eyes puffy but composed, the kids tumbling out behind with backpacks stuffed with crafts. Hey, she said softly, hugging them close before meeting Andre's gaze. Can we talk? The kitchen table, once a battlefield of unspoken resentments, became neutral ground. Coffee steamed between them as the kids played in the yard, shrieks of tag filtering through the screen door. I'm staying with Jess for now, Emily said. No, Jess was Ryan's ex. Wait, no, Emily's words tumbled, a sublet in Belltown, therapy sessions booked, a lawyer's card on the counter. I love you, Andre. As a friend, a co-parent. But not like that. Not anymore. The confession he'd half expected landed like a slow bleed. When? He asked, voice steady. When did it change? She traced the table's grain, avoiding his eyes. Months ago. Maybe longer. Ryan was a catalyst. Showed me I was suffocating in routine. Ryan. Again, the name a hook in his ribs. He's straight, M. Just so you know. Plays the field, moves on. Her laugh was sad, sharp. Doesn't matter. It's not about him. It's me. She reached across, squeezing his hand, sisterly, platonic, and the touch that once lit him up now felt like farewell. You'll be okay. Better than okay. They navigated logistics, custody split 50-50, holidays alternated, the house hers to buy out or sell. By evening, she was gone again, duffel in the trunk, kids waving from the porch steps. Andre tucked them in with stories of pirate adventures, their small bodies warm against his, anchors in the storm. Alone, he cracked open his laptop, the proposal waiting in his inbox, detailed sketches, cost breakdowns, notes on sustainable wood. At the bottom, let me know. No pressure, indeed. Andre's fingers hovered, then typed, looks solid. When can you start? The reply was instant, next weekend? Beers after to celebrate? Beers. Celebration. The words blurred with fatigue, but Andre hit send, a grin tugging unbidden. Monday morning, he woke to blue skies, the city humming with ferry horns and market bustle. Work flew by, colleagues none the wiser to the earthquake in his chest. Lunch was a walk to the waterfront, salt air clearing his head, gulls wheeling overhead like freedom scouts. That night, over reheated lasagna with the kids, Theo smeared sauce on his cheek and declared, "Daddy, you're smiling funny." Mia giggled, and Andre ruffled her hair, the warmth spreading like sunlight after rain. The week unfolded in fits of normalcy: school runs, soccer practice for Mia, bedtime battles with Theo's stuffed dinosaur. Emily's texts were logistical: dentist Tuesday, the intimacy evaporated. But Ryan's messages peppered the gaps: found oak planks that match your vibe. Pics attached. Thumbs up emojis, a joke about Seattle traffic. Harmless flotation with fate. Demo day arrived with a vengeance, hammers echoing through the house, sawdust coating the floors like fresh snow. Ryan showed up at 8 sharp, crew of 2 in tow, burly guys from his contracting circle, radios crackling with playlists of Pearl Jam and Mudhoney. Andre hovered at first, coffee in hand, watching Ryan direct with quiet authority, sweat beading on his brow as he wrenched out old cabinets. "Join in?" Ryan called over the din, tossing him safety glasses. "Or just supervise like a boss?" Andre donned the glasses, the world sharpening into focus, and grabbed a pry bar. The first cabinet gave way with a groan, wood splintering like old grudges, and adrenaline surged, raw, exhilarating. They worked side by side, shoulders bumping in the tight space, banter flowing easy, Ryan's tales of botched builds, Andre's war stories from code deploys gone wrong. By lunch, the kitchen was a skeleton of exposed beams, progress tangible. They broke on the back porch, sandwiches from the corner deli, the swing set creaking nearby. "Kids coming soon?" Ryan asked, wiping mustard from his lip. "After school. You'll meet the chaos." Andre's tone was light, but his chest tightened at the normalcy of it, inviting this man into the fray. Ryan nodded, gaze drifting to the yard. "Sounds good. Miss that energy sometimes." A shadow crossed his face, brief but telling. "Jess and we talked kids once. Never stuck." The vulnerability again, unbidden. Andre wanted to press, to unravel the threads, but the school bus horn blared, Mia and Theo spilling out with backpacks flying. They froze at the sight of Ryan, stranger with tools, but warmed quick, Theo clambering for a hammer tour, Mia eyeing the sketches with artist's curiosity. "Daddy's friend?" she asked, crayon in fist. "Something like that," Andre replied, ruffling her curls, Ryan's chuckle warm in his ear. The afternoon blurred, kids underfoot, Ryan hoisting Theo onto his shoulders for a builder's view, laughter echoing off bare walls. When the crew packed up, dust settling like confetti, Andre walked Ryan to his truck, the sun dipping low, painting the street in gold. "Beer's still on?" Ryan asked, keys jingling. "Absolutely." The word felt like a vow. The rusty anchor was quieter midweek, just locals, and the jukebox humming low. They claimed a booth in the back, pints foaming over, the first sip loosening tongues. Ryan leaned in, elbows on the scarred table. "Your kids are legends." Theo's got opinions on joists. Andre grinned, the beesbus softening edges. "Takes after his mom. Stubborn as hell." A pause, the ghost of Emily between them. Ryan's fingers traced the glass rim. "How you holding up? For real?" The question pierced, and Andre exhaled, words spilling, the ache of empty beds, the fear of failing as a dad, the hollow routine that had masked their drift. Ryan listened, no interruptions, his nod steady. "Sounds like you're already winning," he said when Andre trailed off. "Showing up. That's half the battle." Their knees brushed under the table, not accidental this time, and neither pulled away. The contact sparked, warm and insistent, sending a jolt through Andre's veins. He stared at his pint, heart thundering. "Ryan. That night I came here. Angry as fuck. What if I'd punched you?" Ryan's laugh was low, intimate. "I'd have deserved it. But glad you didn't. Glad we're here instead." The bar emptied around them, last call looming, but time stretched. They talked dreams deferred, Ryan's urge to design full-scale installations, Andre's buried sketchbooks from art school days. Shared silences, heavy with what ifs. Outside, the rain had returned, a fine mist that beaded on their jackets. Ryan's truck idled at the curb, headlights cutting fog. "Night, Andre." His hand clapped Andre's shoulder, lingering, thumb brushing collarbone. "Night." The door closed soft, but Andre stood there, rain kissing his face, the touch burning long after. The renovations bled into weeks, a rhythm of demolition and rebirth that mirrored Andre's fracturing heart. Morning started with the grind of circular saws, Ryan's truck a reliable fixture in the drive, his presence weaving into the warp of daily life like reinforcements in drywall. The kids adored him, Mia sketching set designs on scrap lumber, Theo supervising with a plastic hard hat, while Emily's visits grew sparse, her texts clipped, running late. Love to kids. The space she'd craved had widened into a chasm, papers from the lawyer arriving like punctuation marks on their ending. Andre threw himself into the work, hauling debris to the curb, learning the dance of levels and plumb lines under Ryan's patient tutelage. "Steady hand," Ryan would say, guiding Andre's grip on a drill, breath warm against his ear, the proximity a constant hum beneath the noise. "Straight guy helping out," Andre rationalized, ignoring the way his skin prickled, the dreams that woke him sweat-damp and disoriented, fragments of green eyes and calloused palms. One crisp October afternoon, with the island framework rising like a phoenix from the floor joists, Ryan wiped sweat from his brow and called a break. The crew had knocked off early for a Sounders match, leaving the house to the two of them, dust mote swirling in slanted light. Andre cracked open sodas on the porch, the swing set's chains rustling in the wind off the sound. "You're a natural," Ryan said, clinking cans, his Henley clinging to damp skin. "Ever think about building for real? More than code?" Andre shrugged, settling beside him on the steps, knees inches apart. "Art school dropout, remember? Stuck to pixels for the paycheck. Safer." "Safe's overrated." Ryan's gaze lingered, bold now in the golden hour. "Saw your sketches in the hall, Mia's, but yours too. That cityscape? Got depth. Soul." Heat rose in Andre's cheeks, unaccustomed praise. He doodled it weeks ago, Seattle's ferries and spires rendered in hurried pencil, a vent for nights when sleep fled. Just messing around. Emily always said it was a hobby. Ryan turned fully, knee pressing deliberate against Andre's. "Emily's wrong sometimes. Like about a lot." The air thickened, charged with the unsaid. Andre's pulse thrummed, a traitorous quicken. "And you? What's your soul look like, Ryan Hale?" A slow smile, the kind that crinkled eyes and invited secrets. Rusty bars and rainy hikes. Men who stare down storms. His voice dropped, hand brushing Andre's thigh, fleeting, but enough to ignite. Andre froze, breath catching. This was the line, the precipice. Ryan was straight, Emily's echo, yet here, in the fading light, labels frayed. "What are we doing?" he whispered, not pulling away. "Figuring it out." Ryan's thumb traced a lazy circle on denim, eyes dark with intent. "If you'll let me." The kiss, when it came, was inevitable, slow, tentative, Ryan's lips soft against Andre's, tasting of soda and salt. Andre's hand found Ryan's neck, pulling closer, the world narrowing to the press of bodies, the groan low in Ryan's throat. It was fire and flood, months of pent-up ache pouring out, hands roaming with desperate mapping, collarbones, hips, the hard line of arousal that mirrored his own. They broke apart gasping, foreheads pressed, rain starting to patter on the porch roof. "Fuck," Andre breathed, reality crashing back. "You're with her. Or were." Ryan cupped his jaw, thumb stroking stubble. "Was." Past tense. "This, us, it's new. Real." His eyes searched Andre's, vulnerable beneath the confidence. "Unless it's too much." Andre's laugh was shaky, tears pricking unexpected. "Too much? Try everything." But he leaned in again, softer this time, the kiss deepening into promise. The weekend stretched lazy, kids at a birthday party in Magnolia, the house theirs. They finished the island in a haze of sawdust and stolen touches, fingers interlacing over blueprints, lips brushing nape during measurements. By evening, with cabinets hung and counters gleaming, they cracked beers in the half-finished space, the stainless fridge humming approval. To fresh starts, Ryan toasted, arms slung casual over Andre's shoulders. Andre clinked, but doubt flickered. What about Emily? She calls you her catalyst. Ryan's arm tightened, grounding. She was mine too, for a minute. Showed me I could feel again after Jess. But you're the spark that sticks. They made love that night on the couch, clothes shed in a trail from kitchen to living room, bodies learning each other with reverent urgency. Ryan's hands were builder's hands, sure, worshipful, mapping scars and freckles, mouth hot on Andre's chest, drawing moans that echoed off bare walls. Andre arched, lost in the rhythm, the revelation of want he'd buried deep, not for Emily's softness, but this, strength yielding to strength, gasps mingling in the dark. After, tangled in sheets dragged from the bedroom, Ryan traced patterns on Andre's back. Ever been with a guy? Andre shook his head against the pillow, voice muffled. Just wondered. In college, maybe. Pushed it down. For her. For the life. Ryan kissed his shoulder, soft. No pushing now. We are here. Monday brought the kids home, their chatter a joyful cacophony over breakfast bars at the new island. Mia noticed first, Daddy's happy kitchen. And Theo banged a spoon like a drum. School drop-off, then work, the commuter blur of radio indie sets and stolen glances at Ryan's text, missed you already. Lunch? They met at a food truck in SLU, falafel wraps steaming in paper, park bench overlooking the water. Ryan's knee nudged his under the table, public, but coded, and Andre's laugh came easy, free. This feels dangerous, he admitted, wiping tahini from his lip. Ryan's grin was wicked. Best kind. But his eyes sobered. Talked to Emily last night. Told her it's over. For good. Andre's fork paused mid-air. How'd she take it? Hurt. But understanding. Said she hopes we figure it. Ryan's hand found Andre's under the bench, squeeze firm. We will. The week wove tighter, evenings with blueprints and bedtime stories, Ryan lingering post-crew for quality checks that ended in heated whispers. Andre's sketches emerged from hiding, charcoal cityscapes now shared over wine, Ryan's praise a balm. Frame these. Show the world. Doubt crept in Fridays, after Emily's custody handoff, her eyes red-rimmed, a hug for the kids that lingered. You seem lighter, she noted, tentative. Renovations, Andre lied, but her smile was genuine. Good. You deserve it. Alone that night, kids asleep, Ryan arrived with takeout Thai and a bottle of Pinot. They ate cross-legged on the floor, cushions from the couch, the wine loosening confessions. Ryan spoke of Jess's leaving, the studio's loneliness, a fleeting theatre fling that fizzled. Thought I was straight edge, you know? Then you walk in, all fire and quiet storm, and click. Andre sipped, warmth spreading. Bye, then? Or fluid, Ryan said simply, shrugging. Labels are for lumber. This fits. They tumbled into bed, exploration turning tender, slow kisses, bodies aligning like puzzle pieces long separated. Andre woke to Ryan's arm heavy across his waist, coffee brewing downstairs, the normalcy surreal. But Saturday shattered it. A knock at noon, Emily, unannounced, face ashen. We need to talk. Now. The kitchen, symbol of rebirth, felt claustrophobic as she paced, words tumbling, Ryan's call, the breakup, her spiral into therapy revelations. He's with you, isn't he? Not accusation, but plea. God, Andre, of all people. He nodded, gut twisting. Yeah. It happened. Her laugh was bitter, tears spilling. My straight lover, my escape, and now he's your. What? Rebound. It's not, but the word stuck. Poison. Ryan walked in then, toolbox forgotten in the hall, face paling at the scene. M. He stepped forward, hands raised. This isn't. Save it. She whirled, eyes flashing. You two deserve each other. Liars. The door slammed, echo reverberating. Ryan sank against the counter, drained. Fuck. Didn't see that coming. Andre pulled him close, but the embrace felt fragile, the high crashing. What now? We ride it, Ryan murmured, but doubt shadowed his eyes. The fallout ripened slow, Emily's text silent, lawyer emails curt. Mia sensed the shift, mommy mad. And Andre's reassurances rang hollow. Work suffered, code errors piling like debris, colleagues concerned brows a mirror to his fracture. Ryan threw himself into finishes, countertops sealed, lights hung, but touches grew hesitant, kisses laced with questions. One night, over half-eaten pizza, he voiced it, she called me today. Apologized, but said I'm bad news. Jumping from her to you like it's a script. Andre's fork clattered. And you believe her? Ryan's jaw worked. No. But it sticks. What if she's right? I'm not out, Andre. Not ready for labels, parades, the whole deal. The room cooled, pizza congealing. I'm not asking for that. Just us. Us is messy. Ryan stood, pacing. Kids, exes, this house, it's a stage set for drama. Andre rose, closing the gap. Then let's rewrite it. His kiss was fierce, claiming, but Ryan pulled back, eyes stormy. Not tonight. He grabbed his jacket, door clicking soft behind him. The emptiness echoed, deeper than before. Andre poured bourbon, straight, the burn no match for the ache. Texts went unread, calls to voicemail. Days blurred, kid carpools, forced smiles at parent-teacher night, Emily's nod cool across the gym. Lena called midweek, voice sharp. Spill, Andre. Em reached out, crying about some love triangle. What's going on? He confessed in fragments, Ryan, the kiss, the blow-up, her silence heavy. Oh, honey. That's big. You sure? No. Honesty raw. Scared shitless. Come to Portland. Clear head. But Seattle held him, rain lashing windows like judgment. Friday, Ryan's truck was absent, text curt, gig in Tacoma. Talk soon. Andre hammered alone, nails bending under fury, until knuckles bled. The kids drew at the island, Mia's pencil scratching a family of 4, a mommy, daddy, Theo, and a mystery figure with blonde hair. Who's that? Andre asked, voice thick. Uncle Ryan, she said simply. He makes you laugh. Tears pricked, and he hugged her tight, the weight of small truths crushing. Saturday dawned grey, Ryan's text lighting his phone, can we meet? Rusty anchor. 7. The bar was a time capsule, same stools, same Springsteen, Ryan at the end, nursing a whiskey, eyes shadowed. Missed you, he said as Andre slid beside him. Missed this. Hand on knee, anchor. They talked circuitous, work woes, kid antics, skirting the rift. Emily's in session, Ryan offered. Healing. Said to tell you she's sorry for the bomb drop. Andre nodded, beer bitter. And us? Ryan's fingers intertwined with his under the bar, hidden. Want to try? But slow. My folks. They're old school. Coming out? Not on bingo night. Laughter bubbled, tension easing. Slow's fine. As long as forward. The kiss in the alley was rain-slick, urgent, Ryan's back to brick, Andre's hands in hair, reclaiming ground. Your place. Ryan gasped. Home waited, kids at sleepover, the better sanctuary. They undressed deliberate, candlelight from the kitchen flickering shadows, bodies reconnecting with whispered vows. Ryan's mouth on his thigh, Andre's name a prayer, ecstasy built slow, cresting in shudders and salt. After, limbs entwined, Ryan murmured, "Love this." "You?" Andre's heart stuttered. "Yeah? Yeah." Sleep claimed them, rain lullaby. But dawn brought texts, Emily, frantic. "Something's wrong. Come now." The drive to Belltown was a gauntlet of red lights and wipers slashing fury, Andre's knuckles white on the wheel, Ryan silent in the passenger seat, his hand a steady weight on Andre's thigh. Emily's sublet loomed in a brick walk up off First Avenue, fog rolling off the sound like smoke from a dying fire. She buzzed them up, door ajar, the apartment a chaos of scattered scripts and half-packed boxes, air thick with the tang of red wine gone sour. Andre called, stepping over a toppled lamp, Ryan close behind, his presence a buffer against the wreckage. She emerged from the bedroom, eyes wild, hair a tangle, a robe clutched tight over pajamas. "It's nothing. Everything. I don't know." Her voice cracked, collapsing onto the thrift store couch, knees to chest. Andre knelt, instinct pulling him close, the husband he no longer was. "Talk to me. What's wrong?" Tears carved tracks through smudged mascara. "The therapist said I'm codependent. Clinging to illusions. You, Ryan, the perfect family, it's all smoke." She laughed, hollow. "And now you're together. My rejects, building your little nest while I rot." Ryan hung back, arms crossed, face etched with regret. "Not rejects, Just people finding their way." She shot him a glare, venomous. "Easy for you. Mr. Fluid. I was your straight experiment, remember? The beard for your bi-awakening." The word hung, sharp. Andre's head snapped to Ryan, questions churning. "Experiment?" But Ryan shook his head, stepping forward. "Never that. You were real. Scary real. Showed me cracks in my armor." Emily's sob broke free, raw. "Then why him? Why my husband?" Andre's hand found hers, platonic anchor. "Because it's not about revenge. Or you. It's me. Finally seeing." She searched his face, grief softening to sorrow. "I see it now. The way you looked at him in the kitchen that day. Like he hung the moon." A shaky breath. "I should have let go sooner." They talked until dawn's grey light seeped through blinds, confessions unspooling like frayed rope. Emily's affairs before Ryan, hidden hurts from her own upbringing, a mother who'd prized perfection over presence. Andre shared his buried doubts, the college glances at dorm mates he'd chalked up to curiosity. Ryan mediated, voice steady, "We're all cracked. Gluing back different shapes." By morning, exhaustion claimed her, curled on the couch under a throw. Andre covered her gently, Ryan's arm around his waist in the hall. "Heavy," Ryan murmured. "Yeah." Andre leaned into him, strength borrowed. "But necessary." They left coffee brewing, a note, "Call anytime. We are here." The elevator descent felt like absolution, rain-washed streets welcoming. Back home, the kids stirred to cartoons, oblivious, demanding pancakes. Andre flipped them golden, Ryan beside him chopping fruit, domestic ease a balm. "Stay for breakfast?" Andre asked, casual. "Wouldn't miss." Ryan's wink was private, knee nudge under the island. Mia chattered about school art, Theo smeared syrup, the table alive with chaos Andre craved. Ryan fit seamless, joke with the boy, praise for the girl's drawing, until the school bus honked, whirlwind departure. Alone, clean up a ritual, Andre turned to Ryan, soap sudsy hands framing his face. "Last night. Thanks. For not bolting." Ryan's kiss was morning soft, lingering. "Team, remember." But his eyes held shadows. M's word stuck. "Experiment." Hurts her, but truth in it. Andre pulled back, searching. Was I? Hell no. Ryan's grip tightened. You were the plot twist. The one that rewrites everything. Work called, but lunch was stolen at the market, fresh oysters, sourdough from Lapania, bench by the clock. Ryan's foot hooked Andre's ankle, anchor in the bustle. Gig next week, set billed for a queer theatre piece downtown. Come watch. Andy's heart leaped. Yeah. Proud of you. The production was Angels in America, raw and revelatory, millennium approaches unfolding on a black box stage in Capitol Hill. Andre slipped in late, finding a seat in the dim rows, Ryan's silhouette visible backstage, adjusting lights that bathed actors in ethereal glow. The play's themes, loss, love, identity, mirrored too close, tears pricking as Pryor's monologues echoed Andre's unspoken fears. Intermission, Ryan found him in the lobby, flannel swapped for a button-down, tie loose. Hey! Hand at nape, thumb stroking. You okay? Haunted, Andre admitted. It's home. Ryan nodded, understanding. That's the point. Breaking open. The second act built to catharsis, applause thundering as curtains fell. Backstage buzzed, cast hugs, director's notes, but Ryan pulled Andre into a prop closet, door clicking shut, mouth claiming in the dark. Needed that, he gasped, hands roaming. Me too. Andre's laugh muffled against shoulder, the risk electric. They emerged flushed, mingling with the after-party crowd at a nearby dive, queer folks in rainbow pins, straight allies toasting inclusivity. Ryan introduced Andre as my guy, casual but claiming, and the circle welcomed seamless, beers passed, stories swapped. A drag queen in sequins pulled Andre to dance, hips swaying to indie pop, Ryan's eyes on him across the room, possessive heat. Home late, kids long asleep thanks to Emily's weekend shift, they tumbled into bed, clothes shed in frenzy. Ryan's body was familiar now, planes and hollows mapped by touch, but tonight reverent, slow, mouth on hip bone, fingers curling inside, drawing gasps that built to crescendo. Love you, Ryan whispered post-climax, words a vow. Andre's chest cracked open. Love you too. Sleep came deep, dreams of stages and spotlights. Monday's email from the lawyer was a gut punch, Emily proposing joint custody with her primary residence, citing stability. Andre's hand shook forwarding to his attorney, rage simmering. Ryan found him at the island that evening, blueprints ignored. What's up? She's taking the house. Voice flat. Says kids need her space. Ryan pulled him up, into embrace. Fight it. Or let go. But not alone. The call to Emily was strained, voices raised over speaker, stability? You're subletting, Em. For now. Therapy's helping, but I need roots. Pause, softer. For them. Not against you. Ryan's hand squeezed Andre's knee, silent support. What if we sell? Split fair. Start fresh, all of us. Her silence stretched, then sigh. Maybe. For the kids. Hanging up, Andre sagged, Ryan's arms his harbor. You're my fresh start. Words turned to action, body seeking solace, kitchen counters cool under back, Ryan's weight grounding, thrusts deep and deliberate, moans echoing off new tiles. Release came shuddering, aftercare in shared shower, water cascading like forgiveness. The negotiation dragged weeks, appraisals, offers, the house a bargaining chip. Kids shuttled between, sensing tension in clipped goodbyes. Mia's drawings darkened, stick figures with storm clouds, Theo's tantrums flared at transitions. Ryan became constant, sleepovers midweek, breakfasts with dinosaur pancakes, hikes in Discovery Park where Theo rode his shoulders, Mia collected leaves for collages. Family, Ryan called it one sunset, hand in Andre's, kids racing ahead. Hours. But cracks showed, Ryan's phone buzzing late, old buddies ribbing his glow-up, Jess texting congrats on the gig, Emily's occasional barbs via group chat. One night, post-dinner, Ryan paced the living room, beer in hand. Dad wants to visit. From Alaska. Fishing trip or some shit. Andre stilled, fork midway to mouth. Good. Tell him about us. Ryan's laugh was strained. Not yet. He's Bible Belt roots. Needs prepping. The evasion stung, old fears whispering. How long? Soon. Kissed a temple, but Andra lay awake after, sealing a map of doubts. Emily's therapy breakthrough came abrupt, a coffee meet at the market, her eyes clear. I'm moving to a one-bedroom in Fremont. Stable job at the gallery. Kids half-time, no strings. Relief flooded, hugs tentative but real. Proud of you, Andre said. You too. With him. Wink shy. He suits you. The closing was surreal, signing papers in a sterile office, keys exchanged, proceeds split clean. Packing became ritual, kids boxing toys with Ryan's help, laughter amid tears. Mia clutched a swing set chain. New house have swings? Bigger ones, Ryan promised, hoisting boxes. Andre's new place was a modern loft in Ballard, exposed brick, ferry views, rent-biting but breathing room. Move-in day, trucks rumbling, Ryan directed like a general, pizza feast on the floor that night, kids conked out on air mattresses. Home, Andre whispered, Ryan's arms around him on the balcony, city lights twinkling. Yours. Ours. Kiss under stars, promise sealed. But November winds brought chill. Ryan's dad arrived, flannel and tackle box, stories of salmon runs over steak at Eva's. Andre met him casual, friend from work, handshakes firm, small talk on Seahawks scores. The older man's eyes lingered, questions unspoken, but dinner passed amiable, beers shared on the couch. Post-departure, Ryan crashed beside Andre, exhaling. Told him a little. About dating a guy. He grunted, said, oh, as long as you're happy. Progress. Andy's kiss was fierce. Proud. The holiday loomed, Thanksgiving split, kids with Emily first. Andre and Ryan escaped to the Olympics, cabin rental with a wood stove, hikes through fern-choked trails. Days blurred, boots crunching leaves, hands clasped on ridges overlooking Hood Canal, nights in flannel sheets, bodies entwined by firelight. You're my anchor, Ryan murmured one dawn, mouth on collarbone, fingers tracing spine. And you're my storm. Andre arched, lover tide pulling them under. Return brought festivity, turkey at Lena's in Portland, drive south with kids buckled in, Ryan's playlist of Fleetwood Mac and rainy day folk. Lena hugged tight, whispering to Andre, he's a keeper. Table groaned with fixings, Theo's pie-smeared face, Mia's tales captivating aunts and uncles. Back in Seattle, Christmas loomed, tree in the loft, ornaments from the old house, Ryan stringing lights with Theo on shoulders. Gifts wrapped, sketchpads for Andre, tools engraved for Ryan. Emily joined for cookie bake, tentative truce, laughter bubbling as dough flew. New Year's Eve, kids with grandparents, they dressed up, Ryan in slim chinos, Andre in wool sweater, and hit a queer lounge in Capitol Hill, bass thumping, bodies swaying under disco balls. Midnight kiss amid confetti, strangers cheering, Ryan's whisper hot, this year, all in. But January frosted edges, Ryan's gigs ramped, late nights at venues, Andre's projects crunching overtime. Texts lagged, dinners microwaved. One blizzard night, Ryan snowed into coma, Andre alone with takeout and regret, scrolling old photos, Emily's wedding smile, now bittersweet. Ryan home at dawn, exhausted, collapse into bed. Missed you, mumbled. Me too. But the words felt thin, distance a creeping vine. Emily noticed at pickup, you okay? Look wrecked. Fine. Lie thin. Just work. Her hand on arm, sisterly. Talk to him. Before it freezes. The ultimatum brewed slow, Valentine's approach, Ryan buried in a Rent revival set, Andre sketching alone, lines jagged. Dinner reservation forgotten, Ryan's text, stuck late. Rain check? Andre's reply burned, sure. Again. The fight erupted Friday, kids at sleepover, loft echoing with shouts. You're pulling away. Andre accused, wine glass slamming. Ryan's face hardened. I'm working. For us, for the cabin fund, the future. Future? Feels like excuses. Hurt spilled. Afraid of Dad's grunt? Of labels? Ryan recoiled, eyes flashing. That's low. I'm here, every day, pancakes, hikes, your bed. What more? Commitment. Voice breaking. Or is this just fluid till it flows elsewhere? Silence deadly. Ryan grabbed coat. Need air. Door slammed, snow swirling. Andre sank to floor, sobs racking, the loft vast and cold. The snowstorm raged through the night, blanketing Seattle in a hush that amplified Andre's isolation, the loft's high ceilings mocking his unraveling cries. He paced the living room, phone clutched like a lifeline, texts to Ryan unread, come back. Please. Wine soured in his glass, sketches scattered, jagged cityscapes now fractured hearts, pencil leads snapped in fury. Dawn crept grey, plowing the silence, and still no key in the lock. Emily arrived unannounced, coffee tray from the corner roastery, kids' drawings peeking from her bag. Lena called. Said you sounded wrecked. She set the tray down, I scanning the mess. Fight. Andre collapsed onto the stool, head in hands. The big one. Accused him of cold feet. He bolted. She poured lattes, sliding one over, the steam of fragile bridge. Ryan's not bolting. He's scared. Like you were with me, hiding behind safe. Her insight pierced, and tears welled anew. What if he's right? Maybe I'm pushing too hard. Emily's hand covered his, warm. Or maybe you're finally asking for enough. She paused, voice soft. I see you too. The way he looks at you, like you're the set he built his life around. Give him space, but not the out. The door buzzed mid-morning, Ryan, snow-dusted, duffel slung over shoulder. Emily slipped out with a nod, leaving them in charged quiet. Crashed at the studio, Ryan said, dropping the bag, eyes red-rimmed. Needed to think. Andre stood, arms crossed armor. Think what? That I'm the clingy ex. Ryan's sigh was weary, stepping close. That I'm fucking this up. Dad's visit stirred shit, old tapes playing, man up, settle down. With a woman, the script fit. You. It's rewrite central. The vulnerability cracked Andre's defenses. I'm not a script. I'm just in love. Terrified you'll wake up and decide fluid means free. Ryan's hands framed his face, thumbs wiping tears. Not waking up from this. From you. Kiss tentative, then deepening, apologies in every press. I'm in. All in. But scared too. Let's. Therapy? Together. The suggestion hung, revolutionary. Andre nodded, forehead to forehead. Together. The counselor was a no-nonsense dyke in her 50s, office in Capitol Hill with pride flags and succulents, sessions twice weekly. First meet, they sat rigid on the couch, Ryan's knee bouncing, Andre's fingers twisting. Start with fears, she prompted, voice steady. Ryan went first, words halting, losing him. Or becoming the asshole who bails when it gets real. Andre followed, being the experiment. Or worse, not enough. Homework, date nights, no work talk, journals for unspoken wants. Progress stuttered, Ryan's dad calling with veiled probes, Andre's overtime bleeding evenings, but small wins, handwritten notes in lunch bags, walks at Golden Gardens where hands stayed linked in public. Emily's truce deepened, joint parent-teacher conference, her laugh genuine at Theo's finger paint masterpiece. We're good, right? She asked post-meeting, coffee in hand. Better than. Andre hugged her, sibling now. Thanks for the kick. Spring thawed the city, cherry blossoms dusting Fremont streets like confetti. Ryan's rent run wrapped triumphant, opening night a whirlwind of cast parties and critiques praising his immersive, heartfelt sets. Andre front row, tears during La Vie Boheme, Ryan's curtain call bow locking eyes across the footlights. After party at the Cinerama Lounge, cocktails flowing, queer icons mingling with theater kids. Ryan pulled Andre to the dance floor, bodies close amid pulsing lights, hips sinking to synth beats. This is us, Ryan shouted over bass, mouth to ear. No hiding. Mid-May, the commitment crystallized, Ryan's lease up, boxes migrating to the loft, his tools lining the hall closet. Move-in barbecue on the balcony, Lena and crew from Portland, Emily with the kids, neighbors with coolers. Grill sizzled salmon and veggie skewers, laughter rising with the sun, Mia's face paint clowning Theo, Ryan's arm casual around Andre's waist. To messy families, Lena toasted, glasses clinking. Nah, Ryan countered, eyes on Andre. To chosen ones. The night ended tangled in sheets, bodies celebrating, Ryan's mouth worshipful on inner thigh, fingers curling just so, Andre's gasps a symphony, release crashing like waves on Alki Beach. Summer bloomed reckless, weekends at Ryan's cousin's cabin in the San Juans, kayaks slicing Salish Sea, kids splashing shallows while adults shared wine on the dock. Evenings by fire pit, stories swapping, Ryan's Alaska summers with Dad, Andre's Wisconsin farm boyhood, Emily joining one trip, her tent pitched separate but stories shared over s'mores. You're glowing, she told Andre one dusk, feet in water. Healed. You too. Truth, her laugh freer, a promotion at the gallery lighting her eyes. But August storm clouds gathered, Ryan's dad announced a visit, proper meet the family, tone gruff but intent clear. Prep sessions with the counselor ramped, role plays awkward but necessary. His trying, Ryan said post-call, voice thick. Asked for photos. Of us. Andy's heart swelled. Show him the balcony one. Smiling. The weekend arrived tense, airport pickup, Dad's weathered face scanning Ryan's loft with appraising eye, tools approved, kids art on fridge earning a grunt. Dinner at a steakhouse in Pioneer Square, Theo's chatter easing gaps, Mia's questions about fishing rods drawing stories. Andre, the older Hale said over creamed spinach, fork pausing. Ryan says you're the steady one. Good. He needs that. The words landed paternal, and Andre nodded, throat tight. We steady each other. Later, beers on the balcony, Dad's voice low, didn't raise him for this. But he's happy. Glowing, like he's ma used to say. Cigar smoke curled, truce sealed. Post-departure, Ryan collapsed into Andre, tears silent. He hugged you. Called you son-in-law material. Laughter mingled with sobs, lover tide. Fall painted the city amber, school routine solidifying, Ryan's freelance booming with holiday pop sets. Date night at Carnley's, city lights vista, foie gras melting on tongue, Ryan sliding a key across linen, etched with their initials. Yours. Officially. Andy's fingers trembled taking it. Ours. The proposal whispered unplanned, post-dinner walk along the locks, salmon leaping ladders, kids at Emily's for movie night. Ryan stopped by the fish ladder, water rushing, pulling a simple band from pocket, white gold, inlaid with cascade wood. Marry me? Not for show. For us, the mess, the mornings, the forever. Tears blurred the ring, Andre's yes a gasp, kiss sealing amid splashing fish and cheering tourists. Calls flew, Lena whooping, Emily's finally, laced with joy. Planning wove joy with jitters, small ceremony at the cabin, fall foliage backdrop, immediate family only. Invites hand calligraphed by Mia, suits tailored in earthy tones. Bachelor Eve at the Rusty Anchor, ironic full circle, beers with groomsmen, Ryan's theatre buddy, Andre's coding pal, toasts raucous but heartfelt. Wedding dawn broke crisp, cabin alive with kin, Lena officiating in rainbow stole, kids flower-strewing paths, Emily walking Mia down the leaf-strewn aisle, her wink at Andre pure grace. Vows exchanged under maples, Ryan's voice steady, you changed the script. Made it ours. Andres choked, from confrontation to this, my everything. Rings exchanged, kiss thunderous, cheers erupting. Reception feasted on local bounty, Dungeness crab, berry pies, dances under string lights, Theo's wild twirls, Dad hails arm around Emily in a slow sway, unlikely allies. Honeymoon sketched short, long weekend in Walla Walla, vineyards rolling golden, bike rides between tastings, nights in boutique in with clawfoot tubs. Lovemaking lazy, morning light on tangled limbs, Ryan's fingers painting Pinot Red trails, Andre's mouth eliciting shudders that built to shared peaks. Return to life amplified, holidays blended, kids' excitement bubbling, new last name hyphenated, family portraits in the loft. Emily's gallery show, Ryan sets lauded, Andre's promotion-freeing evenings for sketches turned serious, a local exhibit beckoning. But December's chill carried whispers, Ryan's cough lingering post-flu, dismissed as seasonal. Emily scans routine after a scare, clear, but shadows. Dad hails emails warmer, enclosing fishing lures for the boys. New Year's at the loft, kids conked early, balcony toast with champagne. To changes, Ryan said, arm around waist. To everything. Kiss under fireworks, city symphony. Winter deepened, Ryan's energy dipping, gig skipped, early beds. Just tired, he waved off, but Andre's worry gnawed, doctor's visit booked. The diagnosis dropped like avalanche, early-stage lymphoma, caught via routine check. Words blurred in the oncologist's office, chemo, prognosis good, but the room spun. Home, Ryan's grip iron on Andre's hand. We'll fight. Team. Tears hot. Always. Emily rallied first, meal trains organized, kids shuttled seamless. Lena flew up, bunking in, her hugs fierce. Therapy pivoted to coping, counselor's voice anchor, lean in. Together. Treatments began brutal, infusions dripping slow, Ryan's vein a battlefield, nausea-racking nights. Andre held basins, white brows, whispered stories of future hikes when hair regrew wild. Kids drew get-well cards, superheroes with Ryan's face, Mia's uncle beats bad guys. Remission flickered by spring, scans promising, but fragility lingered, wigs abandoned for buzzed scalp, energy rationed. Ryan set scaled back, freelance consulting from the loft, Andre's arms his world. Anniversary marked quiet, balcony dinner, salmon grilled, ring-twinned hands linked. You saved me, Ryan said, eyes shining. You are me. Kiss soft, enduring. Summer healed slow, cabin returns, gentle swims, kid splashes therapy. Emily's partner emerged, a quiet curator, dinners doubling families. Dad Hale visited, fly rods in tow, teaching Theo casts on the dock, his pat on Ryan's back wordless pride. Fall brought renewal, Ryan's hair curling back, first gig post-remission, a small play on healing, and Andre's exhibit opening, canvases of Seattle storms now laced with light, Ryan's green eyes in every gaze. One dusk walk, locks again, Ryan stopped, hand to chest. Heart steady. Because of you. Andy's laugh tear-choked. Hours. The exhibit's opening night thrummed with the energy Andre hadn't felt since his art school days, velvet ropes at the Fremont Gallery, wine glasses chiming like tentative toasts to survival. His pieces hung bold, abstracted Seattle rain in oils, fractured skylines resolving into horizons, the central triptych a subtle portrait of eyes, hazel meeting green, storm yielding to dawn. Ryan stood beside him in a crisp shirt, and discreet at the small of Andre's back, his presence a quiet force amid the crowd of collectors and critics. Stunning, Emily murmured, weaving through with her partner, Claire, tall, bespectacled, her arm looped through Emily's like a natural extension. It's you. All of you. Andre flushed, clinking glasses. Thanks. Means more from you. Claire nodded approval, her curator's eye sharp. The light work, reminiscent of Diebenkorn, but urban pulse. Sell out, mark my words. The kids darted between legs, Mia in a velvet dress clutching a program like a talisman, Theo's tie askew from cookie pilfering. Ryan scooped him up, whispering conspiracies, laughter bubbling free. Dad Hale cornered a patron, regaling with fishing yarns that looped back to my son-in-law's talent, the term slipping easy now, pride unguarded. Lena arrived fashionably late, Portland flair in her scarf, enveloping Andre in a bear hug. Knew you had it in you. That confrontation kid? Evolved. The night peaked with a sale, the triptych to a tech mogul who gushed about raw emotion, and Andre's check burned in his pocket, seed for a studio space. Closing the gallery doors at midnight, Ryan pulled him into an alley kiss, cool brick at back, mouth hot and claiming. Proud doesn't cover it. You're electric. Home, loft aglow with string lights, they shed formal wear in a trail to bed, celebration slow and sacred, Ryan's lips tracing collarbone, hands reverent on hips, entry gentle, rhythm building to gasps that crested in unison. My artist, Ryan breathed post-glow, fingers combing sweat-damp hair. Yours. Sleep claimed deep, dreams of canvases infinite. Winter's grip loosened into tentative spring, Ryan's checkups routine now, bloodwork singing clear. He eased back into builds, small theatre commissions, a community centre stage that echoed his sets for angels. Andre rented the studio, sunlit corner in Ballard, easels and terp scenting the air like promise. Mornings, he painted while Ryan sketched blueprints at the island, coffee steaming, kids' backpacks by the door. Emily and Claire's commitment mirrored theirs, a low-key vow renewal at the gallery, surrounded by art that spoke of second chances. Andre walked Emily down the aisle of sculptures, her gown simple linen, tears in her eyes as Claire waited under a floral arch full circle, she whispered, squeezing his arm. The reception spilled into the sculpture garden, string quartet playing Bowie covers, Theo twirling Claire's niece, Mia sketching portraits on napkins. Ryan and Andre danced a slow sway, his chin on shoulder. Think we'll do it again? Vows, I mean. Andre's laugh vibrated. Every year. Why not? Summer unfurled generous, family road trip to Olympic hot springs, tents pitched by steaming pools, kids' shrieks echoing off basalt cliffs. Ryan taught Mia whittling, her pocket knife carving a lopsided bear. Theo and Andre built rock dams, water engineering mini lessons. Nights, adults soaked under stars, wine warming veins, stories looping late, Emily's gallery expansions, Claire's book on Pacific Northwest queer artists, Ryan's dream of a design collective, Andre's next series on resilience. One evening, fire crackling, Ryan pulled Andre aside to the tree line, moonlight silvering ferns. Got something. From his pack, a blueprint roll, unfurling to reveal a cabin expansion, loft addition, artist's nook, playroom wing. Our future. If you want. Andy's breath caught, fingers tracing lines. Build it with me. Always. Kiss fierce, bark rough at back, hands urgent but paused by distant kid calls. Fall harvest brought grounding, school plays, Mia as tree sprite, Theo's dinosaur raw stealing scenes, Ryan sets the backdrop, pride swelling. Dad hails Thanksgiving, fly in with salmon hauls, table groaning turkey and fixings, his toast gruff, to family. Blood and chosen. Holiday cards multiplied, Lena's clan, Emily Claire's merged, even Jess chiming in from afar, her congrats on the art, Ryan's a lucky bastard warming old wounds. But December tested, Ryan's cough resurfacing, dismissed as allergy, until a scan flagged shadow, scar tissue, they said, but monitoring tight. Fear flickered, therapy dredging it, it's PTSD, the counselor named, from the first round. Name it, don't let it name you. Coping wove new threads, yoga at the locks, Ryan's poses steadying breath, couples painting sessions in the studio, canvases abstracting anxieties into color. Kids sensed drawings of superheroes battling clouds, but resilience shone, Mia's "We got this" note tucked in Ryan's lunch. New year dawned resilient, balcony ritual, kids waving sparklers, Ryan's arm heavy around Andre. Another lap, he toasted. Stronger. Spring's bloom carried momentum, Ryan's collective launched, queer builders collaborating on inclusive spaces, first projector youth center in Capitol Hill. Andre's series sold to a museum, proceeds funding scholarships for art dropouts like his younger self. Anniversary number 2, vow renewal intimate, just them at the cabin, efficient a friend from the collective. Barefoot on pine floors, rings reapplied, promises whispered, through storms and scars. Lovemaking by hearth, slow worship, Ryan's tongue tracing vertebrae, fingers and mouth coiling tension to release, bodies a testament. Summer's heatwave baked the city, but they escaped to the San Juans again, ferry slicing blue, bikes rented for island loops. One afternoon, beach picnic, sandwiches soggy, kids digging moats, Ryan's eyes caught Andre's over sunscreen smears. Remember the bar? That note. Andre chuckled, sand gritting teeth. Worlds away. Grateful. Hand squeeze, kids oblivious. Fall deepened bonds, Emily's pregnancy announcement, hers and Claire's via donor, joy tentative but bright. Auntie Andre, she teased at the ultrasound reveal, grainy image shared over brunch. Uncle, he corrected, hugging tight. Family grows. Ryan Center opening gala was electric, ribbon cut by local mayor, walls alive with murals by queer artists, Andre's contribution a storm to sunrise peace. Speeches flowed, Ryan's voice steady, this space for the kids we were, the ones who needed safe stages. Applause thundered, kids beaming front row, Dad Hale tearing up in the back. Winter whispered challenges, economy dipping, Ryan's gigs thinning, Andre's studio rent hiking. Budget talks tense over takeout, but unity held, side hustle of custom furniture, Ryan's hands, and Andre's designs fetching premiums. Holiday lights strung early, kids' advent calendar counting crafts. Christmas Eve, blended dinner at the loft, Emily's pie, Claire's eggnog, Dad Hale's stories, Lena zooming in. Gifts practical, tools, paints, but one from Ryan, a locket with kids' photos, engraved, our anchor. Andy's gift, custom blueprint of the expanded cabin, dates penciled for groundbreaking. New Year's Eve, snow dusting rare, they bundled to the locks, kids sledding nearby, champagne flutes chilled. To evolutions, Ryan said, bubbles fizzing. To us. Fireworks burst, kiss eternal. But January's frost bit, Ryan's cough deepened, scan urgent, relapse, aggressive this time. The word recurrence echoed in sterile halls, chemo round 2 looming, prognosis guarded. Andre's world tilted, holding Ryan's hand as fours dripped. Fight, he whispered. With you. Ryan smiled brave, but eyes shadowed. Emily organized again, schedules synced, kids buffered with playdates. Claire cooked lasagnas, Lena planned visits. Therapy marathon, grieve the healthy, fight for now. Treatments ravaged, hair lost again, nights nauseous, but Ryan's humor endured, bald and beautiful, right, winking from bed. Kids adapted, Mia's stories of Funkel's superpowers, Theo's hugs fierce. School counselor looped in, resilience workshops for the family. Spring crawled, infusions marking time, Ryan's energy ebbing. Studio visits rare, but one day he wheeled in, sketchpad trembling, a design for the youth center's garden, adaptive benches for warriors in recovery. Andy's tears fell on the page. Beautiful. You too. Kiss weak but true. Emily's baby shower mid-May, gender-neutral joy amid the shadow, bun-in oven a beacon. Andre hosted, balloons bobbing, Ryan toasting from armchair to new beginnings. And comebacks. Summer simmered slow, treatments paused for scans, stable, a breath held. Cabin trip gentle, porch rockers, books read aloud, kids fishing with Dad Hale, who arrived unbidden, tackle in tow. Heard. Here to help. His presence rock, quiet rod lessons, steaks grilled, evenings by fire where stories soothed. Fall's colors peaked defiant, Ryan's strength returning, first walk unaided to the locks, hand in Andre's. Feel alive. You are. Squeeze tight. Emily's labor came Halloween, healthy boy, Oliver, tiny fists waving. Hospital visit, Ryan holding the bundle careful, eyes misty. Auntie Ryan approves. Winter warmed with remission confirmed, confetti in the loft, kids' cheers deafening. Ryan's buzzcut grew curls, collective projects ramping. Anniversary 3, cabin vow whisper, just them, snow blanketing pines. Through it, Ryan vowed. All. Love-making tender, reclaiming, fingers gentle, mouths mapping healed skin, climax a quiet wave. New Year's, balcony full, family clustered, kids counting down. Fireworks bloomed, Ryan's arm anchor. Forever changed. Better. Kiss in light. The new year unfolded like a canvas stretched taut, blank but brimming with strokes yet to come, Ryan's remission a hard-won palette, colors vibrant after the grey wash of treatments. Seattle's winter relented into a mild spring, cherry blossoms unfurling along the Burke-Gilman Trail like hesitant promises, and the family leaned into the thaw with deliberate grace. Morning started with Theo's dinosaur roars from the loft's alcove, Mia's violin scales piercing the quiet, Andre at the stove flipping eggs while Ryan measured oats for porridge, their rhythms synced like a well-rehearsed duet. Workdays carried forward momentum, Andre's museum commission expanded into a series on urban metamorphosis, canvases shipped to curators in Chicago, whispers of a solo show in New York stirring butterflies long dormant. Ryan's collective buzzed with grants, a non-profit arm for adaptive builds, spaces designed for elders and the ill, his relapse fueling blueprints that breathed accessibility. Turning scars to stares, he'd quip over drafting tables, his curls growing wild, green eyes sharp with purpose. Emily and Claire's rhythm with Oliver was a whirlwind of midnight feedings and gallery deadlines, but weekends wove them tight, park picnics at gas works, baby in sling, kids chasing frisbees while adults swapped survival tales over thermoses of chai. Motherhood's my high wire act, Emily confessed one afternoon, Oliver gurgling against her chest. But you too, you're the net. Andre's hand found Ryan's across the blanket, squeeze unspoken. We all are. The cabin groundbreaking came mid-May, earth movers humming under Cascadian sun, family in hard hats to mark the dig. Dad Hale wielded the ceremonial shovel, dirt flying with a whoop, Theo mimicking Minnie, Mia sketching the foundation in her journal. Our fortress, Ryan declared, arm around Andre, the blueprint now tangible trench. Build weeks blurred, weekends hauling lumber, Ryan directing with quiet command, Andre's sketches evolving into murals for the interior walls, abstract forests resolving into homes. Kids helped with paint rollers, smudges on cheeks like war paint, laughter echoing off studs. Emily brought lunches, Claire's salads crisp, Oliver napping in a portable crib amid the sawdust. One dusk, as rafters rose skeletal against the sky, Ryan pulled Andre to the half-framed porch, sunset gilding the hills. This is it. The everything. Andy's kiss was dust-laced, fierce. Ours. Summer's heat peaked in family fusion, joint vacation to the Oregon coast, Emily's Subaru convoying with the truck, tent staked at Nikani Beach, waves crashing like applause. Days of tide pool hunts, Mia's crab sketches, Theo's shell collections, nights around driftwood fires, guitars strumming folk tunes, Oliver's coups harmonizing. Ryan and Andre stole moments, cliffside walks, hands linked, salt wind whipping, bodies pressing urgent against rock faces, gasps lost to surf. You're my horizon, Ryan murmured post-climax, jeans rebuckled, I see bright. And you're the tide. Laughter free, love liquid. Fall's harvest moon lit the cabin's completion, open house under lanterns, beams groaning approval, the loft addition a starry airy with skylights, artist's nook flooded morning light. Dedication plaque read Hale Walker Haven, eternal. Toasts flowed, Lena's bubbly, Dad Hale's whiskey, Emily's cider, kids racing stairs, Oliver's first crawl across the playroom rug. Winter whispered contentment, holidays at the cabin now, tree felled from the lot, ornaments heirloomed. Christmas morning, paper carnage, Ryan's gift a custom easel carved with their rings motif, Andre's a set of chisels engraved builder of worlds. Emily's family swelled with Claire's kin, tables groaning pie and prime rib, stories looping till dawn. New Year's crossed into 4, balcony ritual evolved, now at the cabin porch, stars pricking velvet, kids bundled asleep inside. Champagne popped, Ryan's arm heavy. To the next chapter. With plot twists we choose. Fireworks distant, kiss close. Spring's renewal carried echoes, Ryan's 5-year scan pristine, celebration dinner at Carnley's, city sprawled jewel-like below. Clear, the doctor confirmed, and Ryan's whoop echoed halls, Andre's tears salt on smiles. But life's undercurrent stirred, Mia's middle school jitters, braces glinting, crushes confessed in whispers, Theo's soccer league, muddy triumphs and losses, Ryan coaching sidelines with whistles shrill. Emily's gallery expansion, Claire's book launch, queer canvases, Pacific stories, Andre's forward-penned heartfelt. Summer's rhythm pulse steady, youth center dedication, Ryan's garden blooming adaptive, benches curved for wheelchairs, murals by local kids, Andre's storm piece centerpiece. Ribbon cut, speeches soaring, a teen's thank you roar, this space saved me. Like you saved each other. Fall deepened roots, cabin weekends routine, expansions hosting retreats for the collective, queer artists and builders collaborating, fireside critiques birthing hybrids of wood and paint. Andre's New York show loomed, flight booked, Ryan's hand steady at goodbye gate. Knock them dead. Home waiting. The city that never sleeps welcomed him electric, Soho gallery humming, critics lauding our American Odyssey in oils, sales funding scholarships in his name. Late night calls to Ryan, voice crackling, miss your voice. Miss your chaos. Laughter bridged miles. Return was airport dash, Ryan waiting, kids in tow, sign scrawled artist extraordinaire. Loft reunion tangled, clothes shed hasty, bodies reclaiming, Ryan's mouth on neck, hands pinning wrists, thrusts deep and declarative, moans crescendoing to shared shatter. Winter's hush brought milestones, Mia's bat mitzvah, family tradition from Emily's side, synagogue alive with song, her Torah portion on resilience recited flawless, Ryan's kippah perched proud. Reception danced till dawn, Theo's tie lost, Oliver toddling cake smeared. Anniversary 5, vow renewal grander, cabin packed with kin, efficient leaner in stole, guests spilling porches. Vows evolved, Ryan's from bar fights to this fight, won every round with you. Andre's confronted shadows, found light in your eyes. Rings refreshed, kiss cheered, feasting on elk and elderberry wine. Honeymoon redux, Walla Walla vineyards, but with kids now, cabins clustered, bike trails tandem, tastings juice for little ones. Nights, adults slipped away, hot air balloon dawn ride, basket swaying over rows, Ryan's hand in Andre's. Up here, feels infinite. Down there too. Descent soft, earth welcoming. Summer's end whispered change, Theo's voice cracking, Mia's eye rolls teenage, Oliver's words tumbling. Family therapy check-ins light, but grounding, evolving, not ending. Fall's colors crowned a quiet crisis, Dad hails heart scare, mild but sobering, EKG in Anchorage, flight south for bypass. Cabin became recovery nest, Andre cooking broths, Ryan building ramp access, kids reading aloud from dogged adventures. Tough old bird, Dad grunted post-surgery, but eyes soft on the grandkids, on the men holding hands by the bed. Like father, Ryan replied, grip firm. Winter healed him slow, snowshoe treks gentle, stories by stove of Alaska wilds, his blessing gruff, you boys did good. Built this. Spring's thaw mirrored, Dad homebound but stronger, weekly Zooms now ritual. Ryan's collective expanded nationally, invites to consult in Portland, Andre tagging along for Lena's launch party, her non-profit for arts therapy, speeches intertwining their paths. Summer scorched with serendipity, New York follow-up, joint trip, Ryan's design symposium, Andre's panel. City pulsed queer bright, Stonewall walks hand in hand, rooftop bars toasting empires, loft love reclaimed in hotel sheets, bodies urgent against skyline views. You're my city, Ryan gasped, fingers curling, release crashing like taxes below. And you're my skyline. Dawn tangled, dreams deferred no more. Fall's harvest reaped abundance, cabin's first artist residency, a young queer painter mentored by Andre, her murals blooming walls. Mia's first crush, boy from orchestra, awkward dance invite navigated with Emily's wisdom, Ryan's dad jokes. Theo's science fair volcano, eruption epic, family cheering bleachers. Emily second, girl this time, Lila, nursery painted neutral, family swelling. Full house, she laughed at the baby sprinkle, bumps toasted. Winter's solstice brought reflection, cabin Yule log ritual, flames fed wishes, health, art, love, smoke curling stars ward. Kids plays, Mia's lead in school musical, Ryan sets magical, Theo's holiday concert, off-key charm. Anniversary 6, intimate, just them post-kid bedtime, vow whispers by fire. Endless, Ryan said. Ever after. Lovemaking eternal, slow builds, peaks prolonged, afterglow in arms. New Year's 7, porch full, descendants and kin, countdown choral. Fireworks bloomed, Ryan's eyes locked. From one confrontation to everything. Kiss timeless, love the constant. Years layered like patina on wood, edges softened, grains rich, kids launching, Mia to art school in Portland, dorm unpacked with teary hugs, Theo's Eagle Scout, merit badges sewn by Ryan's steady hand. Emily's Gallery National, Claire's books bestsellers, grandkids toddling, Oliver's sisters, chaos doubled. Andre's retrospectives toured, Ryan's designs TED talked, collective a beacon. Dad hails visits annual, fly Rod's legacy, his stories etched in grandkids' ears. Confrontations faded to footnotes, the bar a nostalgic toast yearly, pints raised to what happened next. Love, the grand narrative, storms weathered, scars stories, everything changed for the profound better. In quiet eves, porch swing creaking, hands entwined, Andre traced Ryan's knuckles. Worth the walk in the rain. Ryan's smile crinkled eternal. Every drop. The cabin stood sentinel, haven built, lives woven, human, flawed, luminous.